All right, everyone. I get to see everyone now. Thank you so much for being here. Wonderful to have you all. One of the first instructions today is if you have not yet emailed me your recitation, the thing you're going to repeat in times of challenge, difficulty, something to do, we've now realized, and the science will support us. We need to do probably three or more times a day. We talked before about why three, though we're trying to get to one. I'm noticing it's getting easier. Anybody else? I'm actually seeing that not only am I doing it the three times, it's coming up spontaneously. And I was in the bathroom this morning just getting ready, and the Bodhisattva prayer just came to me. And I thought, well, this is interesting. There's no real distress. I'm not upset. Things are, right. I woke up this morning. I'm generally well. This is interesting. And I realized that it is probably something I need to put my mind on um, in ordinary time, not just in the time of the difficulty, right? But in ordinary time, like nothing happening, nothing wrong, nothing broken, nothing, neither falling to the other extreme, not just in the ecstatic, not just in the blissful, not just what, but really just what we call a liturgical time is a word used in the Christian tradition, the everydayness. And in fact, you've noticed that I've named my entire company every day mindfulness, right? Every day. The mindfulness that you commit yourself to when you're sipping tea and listening to a friend, right? And so we have these opportunities. And then we talked a little bit in the last Saturday session about the responsibility, didn't we? Not just the privilege and opportunity, but then beyond to the responsibility to be our best selves, uh, which is harder than the person you like, isn't it? It's harder than that you see yourself as. It means stepping in when you would otherwise collapse, step out, ignore, look the other way, forget about it, right? And so we are going to continue in our repetitions, and I'm going to see if anyone here has, you can send it directly to me. You don't need in any way to put that out to the group, though. What we're going to do, and I have received a few, is that Janine has made an incredible offer, and I want to be the first on Janine's to do list for this. So, what I thought we'd do, Janine, for just a minute is talk about this opportunity. And I'd love for you to share your inspiration for it because I think it's important.
Sure, Di. Last Tuesday when we met, um, Di said something that just kind of triggered something in me. She was talking about our phones and she was talking about our discipline and how we're disciplined enough to carry our phones around with us all day, but maybe having trouble finding that same discipline in our practice with our recitations. And a light bulb just went off. I actually it's not a big deal, but I made a meme. I don't know if you can really see it, but so I just typed up my recitation, which is the Bodhisattva vow, and I made a meme out of it. I used AI to create an image of a Buddha in the garden, and I typed up the words to the vow, and now that's the front screen of my phone and I carry it around with me all day. So I set an alarm at midday to remind me to do it to help me. I'm pretty good in the morning and pretty good in the evening, but when I get in the throes of the day, it gets away from me. So now I have a reminder set for noon. The alarm goes off, but I have it and I see it every time I pick up my phone. Whether it rings or I get a text, it's always there in the background. And so just like Di mentioned, even before my alarm goes off midday, I find myself coming back to this, and it's really made a difference. It's only been the last week, but I wanted to offer, if anybody else would like this with whatever recitation you're working with in your practice, if you send it to Di or if you send it to me, I'm happy to make one that you can put on your phone as well. It's really easy. It's just like a picture that is in your photo album, and you just assign it to your home screen.
Woohoo! Technology, technology, uh, and really the inspiration with it, right? That really matters because the technology by itself can do all kinds of things, as we're noticing, including AI, right? Both beautiful. And I actually have a very specific picture. Someone took a photograph of a lotus pond that I've loved for years. I'm going to be sending that to Janine, and then I'm going to send her uh, the Bodhisattva prayer, and then right, I'm going to have her place that on that for me and get it back to me. And I so am so grateful for these kind offerings of our community. And so, Janine, should I put or you put in chat your email address? Would that be helpful?
Sure, I can do that now.
Okay, would you do that? Put that in, then everybody knows it. And I'm going to make a share of this in our newsletter as well. Um, but if you have a specific picture, I would say that's going to be important also. And if you don't, if you just give Janine some idea, because she was able to generate one, um, right? And so whether that's your pet, your loved ones, nature scene, statue, flower, it's really what inspires you. And really, then we know that just looking at the image, don't we? We know that that itself will inspire. And so Janine's happened to be Buddha in the garden. Well, I know that two things are going to inspire this for Janine now. What are they? They're going to be both the Buddha, images of the Buddha, and images in the garden. Will both, because in the science, and we know this, those who have done this kind of studying, we know that there's a thing called pairing. And when you mix a stimulus with an object, they become one, right? And in the old days, Pavlov was understood, right? You paired the treat with the bell, and what would happen? The dog would immediately begin to salivate. A certain kind of conditioning that we understand, one of the kinds. And so we know that just this small practice, right? The phone's already there, you're already looking at it, there it is. Even if the mind were to touch it for a moment, we already know everything, don't we? We know that there is only this one moment in which to be awakened. And I will be very excited, by the way, to see this impact for you all. We want to make this as workable, doable, possible as we can, understanding that it's impossible. I was just talking with a friend at on Sunday as we were celebrating Adrian's birthday, and very unusually, I got flummoxed. I really got caught in. She asked me about a tattoo I'm getting on my wrist and what it meant, and I almost couldn't answer it. And I was saying things, but I could really get my words together. And I've reflected a lot on that. Like, what was that really? And it really was that it was so personal. It was so my heart that it didn't feel right in a casual conversation about a tattoo. It just was wrong. It felt off. And I couldn't even get it together enough at the moment to say that or what it really meant to me. It didn't feel like right timing. And I'm going to go back to her and say, I got uncomfortable because it felt like a casual conversation for me in a non casual topic. And I feel able to do that out of all of the practices we're doing, don't I? I'm now fearless, really, in the truth of it. And I'm not worried about what she's going to think about it, and I'm not worried about how it looks to me. It just is the essential truth. And I know that the repetitions have supported me in that courage. Right. And I also feel very capable of not blaming her, of not putting it on her or making it about her, which in fact it really wasn't just a thing about me. And so the recitations certainly are uh, useful, though I want to juxtapose that with in this moment, it would not have been useful to break into song, as they say. Uh, may we be reciting the prayer for her wouldn't have been appropriate, would it? Really going into length about the Dharma didn't feel right. She wasn't asking me that, really. She was with some curiosity touching into it, and to be able to see that clearly, and the very pause uh, that comes. Jean, I think I just see that it's your birthday. Is it today? I don't know where Jean is. I don't see her, but is this actually your birthday today? Does anybody else see that
I'm
chat?
hiding. I'm hiding, but it is my birthday and I'm still in my pajamas because it's my birthday.
Right, absolutely.
And it's a
Yes,
big one. I'm
yes.
70. Happy birthday to
Yay.
me. Thank you, Di.
Congratulations. Yay. How
Thank you.
lovely, Jean. Well,
Thank you,
wonderful.
darling.
Well, then you should definitely have Janine do your meme first.
Actually, I have a non-technology, I said Post-its last week, but I've
Yeah.
changed it up and same as you, it's gotten to be easier and more often. I love my singing bowl. And rather than keeping it in my little meditation corner, I put it in the middle of a place I pass by daily from every room to every room. And I just whack that bowl and listen until the sound goes and
Yay.
say my repetition. And so I suggest that to others in case they would like.
Thank you. That is also wonderful and lovely. And that is, in fact, the point of the bowl.
Yeah, well, no, it's to sit in my
That's what it
meditation corner,
seems.
Di.
I know that's where most of our bowls are. Get those out, folks. Okay. Anything else we want to say about this? You're getting me your phrase. Someone, I won't say who, just sent me one saying, all is well, all is well, all is well. It doesn't have to be complicated, does it? It doesn't have to be, as Shanti Deva, 9,000 stanzas, which ultimately became the Bodhisattva way that we have studied, and that the Dalai Lama, by the way, studies every day. Also, then I will say before we sit that study is an essential aspect of the teaching. That's why we do the book study. It isn't just write ideas for now, though certainly now is where they are made manifest. It is also understanding these teachings that have come throughout all time and have stood the test of time, yeah, haven't they? They're not just for today and for today as well, but they have already been exercised, practiced, refined over, well, as long as life, I suspect. And so just know if you have these things, um, it's better to use them than to make them ornament, isn't it? As Jean said on this beautiful 70th. Happy birthday, Jean. All right, we're going to prepare to sit, and then we'll look at our last few summaries from Smile at Fear. Of course, Smile at Fear is continuous practice. I'm going to take one little sip here. And thank you once again, all of you, for being here. And so we can begin just like this, then, can't we? Which is just honoring each of us and then who have showed up today on this Tuesday morning, easy to do a whole bunch of other things. And we recognize that intention. And not only is it coming from here in California, it's Arizona and Colorado and Israel, these amazing places. And we recognize it, what it took for everybody and you to be here, and we bow to that. This is igniting the bodhicitta in the bodhisattva heart, this radiant, ever-present love, compassion, and wisdom of which we each have infinite capacity. And feel it being sort of shined down and into you. And then we recollect, as is the tradition, we recollect all of that connecting together, that coming together, that one mind, that shared intention for ease, for peace, for well-being, for the end of suffering throughout all time. We can speak to this tradition. Of course, it's an amalgam of traditions, as we all are. Or we could speak to the one, that one goodness. The ocean and then its infinite drops. And remember that you are always resting in this ocean of awareness, this ocean of goodness, this vast open space of commitment, of intention, of aspiration, and it's being realized. This is what I think is so beautiful about the Buddhist tradition, is it says there is no other lifetime but this one in which to realize this love, this goodness. And then there is no other moment but this moment in which to make it so. And then may we offer this practice to all beings everywhere without exception, beginning with yourself always. And then like that radiant eastern sun, sending it out. And then finding that comfortable seat. I think what that really means is get comfortable where you are. Making contact with the body that is here. this precious and perfect breath that is available now. Gently swaying us here and for in this ocean of awareness. And I love this metaphor. It's one of my favorite, really, because it holds both things, doesn't it? It holds the vast open space, the ocean, sky-like quality of awareness, as well as your very way, the breath of you, as an essential, inseparable part. And so we rest in its rhythm. We rest within the felt sense of the breath, but in a very light and tender way. No grip, no grab, no clinging. We become that flow. We let it move us. As we rest within that ocean of awareness. Sensing and feeling that vast open space, that ocean-like quality all around us and also within us. There is no separation between the inner and the outer. It is one ocean of which you are that part. And we let go of whatever's happening in the head, be it even our idea of awareness. Often we imagine it coming from the head, rather open to the whole awareness within this whole body, this whole mind, this wholeheartedness. awareness is a part of all of those spheres, and in their collective, even more. And so do not strain the brain. This would be a misunderstanding. But rather see if you can't open the whole of the body. And the awakened heart mind that's committing to knowing, to being, to presence. Recollecting the goodness that is all around us and within. This breath not possible without you. Not possible without all that is interconnected. You are not a freestanding entity. And we get to rest back into the truth of that. We are born of all that is around us. We are those same elements. We are held by them, grounded into them, embraced. And then within that ocean of awareness, we feel this ever increasing, ever flourishing, pervading ease. We don't have to work so hard. We don't have to think so much. There really is nothing more to do but recognize, remember, recollect, and to know the truth of this. Our own vastness, our own interconnectedness, interbeing with all things, all people. And this is not a thought. This is a felt, known sense. Only possible in that vast open space, in that stillness, as we open into this pervading silence before sound. We touch it, we remember it, and then we soak and bathe and relax into it so as to remember. we remember that this one drop of goodness, this one drop of intention towards non-judgment, towards love, towards care, towards the good, changes the whole of the ocean. And so we commit ourselves even more to that truth, to that placement of the heart mind towards the good. And it doesn't mean that you come up with a solution, doesn't mean you have the answer. It means you continue. We smile both at the privilege, at the blessing, and at the commitment. We take the vow. Once again, just here in the stillness, I will show up completely. Just this one moment, this breath, and offer what I can. Becoming that very boat, that raft, that bridge, doctor, the nurse, and the good medicine. By your presence alone, and it must always begin like this. And then whatever comes from it, let it come. And this is the definition of Chogyam's fearlessness. feel its unshakable, boundless, and pervading quality when you remember who you are. And that which you are a part of. This vast, open, empty, and infinite ocean of awareness. Never separate. Never. And may all beings benefit. Taking a moment. The volume is up, so I'm thinking since this is the second day, with Saturday as well, that people are having trouble hearing me. I think I'm gonna likely have to get to a plug-in or something. This is a pretty old computer. So there could be something there. I've checked all my outputs and things, so that's not where the issue is. I've got the sound for other sound off to try to, I thought that would help it, but
Di, you're fine now. It's just that I found when you get into the meditation that
my voice.
your voice just goes softer, which makes me have to listen a little more.
Uh-huh.
But but your volume, I think, is fine now, at least for me.
Probably my everyday talk. I think that probably still means we need to get something plugged in for the rest of the time. Thank you, Chris, for that feedback. Greg?
Yeah, I can just add a little bit because I'll be the canary in the coal mine here with my hearing issues. Because I noticed, yeah, the sound volume is off, but also the clarity. I was kind of comparing with Janine, whose clarity is really good. Now, everybody's voice is a little different, of course, but your voice is very clear most of the time. So it's only when it gets soft on that microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the mic.
I think we can fix this. We're going to invest
Yeah.
something in it. My commitment is that by Saturday, this will have something hooked up that's working better, because if you can't hear me, you can't benefit in the way that I want you to. It doesn't mean the stillness, silence, and open space isn't useful practice as well, but I want you to have the supports when you want and need. So I will make a commitment. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good there. So those commitments have been made. I wanted to give then everyone a little update on, we had a talk on Saturday. Many were not here because, of course, the holiday weekend and plans and commitments and other things. And so we talked about the person I was calling Victor, whose name is Hector. And I want to thank Adrian and Irman. Adrian, of course, first for having identified the reality of a situation with someone who's working hard and has invested in being in our country, and there's problems, and we all understood that this could happen. I don't want to go over the whole thing again, and Irman for taking the time as an attorney just to give us some clarity on some things. Thank you, Irman, for that. And so what the result of all of that is that we raised some money for Hector, who's going to lose his job. And as we understand more clearly now, just to make sure we're clear, Hector did not have a green card. We thought when we spoke with Irman that he did. He does not. He has one of those very special circumstances that's being written about today in the San Diego Union Trib. So because he's a migrant from somewhere else, I thought it was Cuba, but it could be Honduras or it could be Nicaragua. I'm not sure, but I recollect Cuba. That condition was a special condition offered to people in the 90s, particularly, and then maybe some even during Biden's time, as an example. And that condition has been revoked. And now with the revoking of that condition, right, that paper that once gave you permission to be here is not, doesn't quite work in the same way. Nobody is just surrendering around this. We're just going to keep looking at it, trying to understand how we can support Hector. It may include an attorney who we're trying to identify. So just so you know, number one, I am grateful beyond for the support and the monies that were offered to support Hector right now, since he is going to lose his job. That is certain. And I don't want to vilify the La Vida Del Mar either. They may not have a real choice. They are working with um, you know, they have a commitment as a licensed facility to background checks and things like that. So thank you, number one, that's most important. Number two, I will keep you posted, and Adrian, I hope will as well. And we're going to see what we can do with that situation. And, you know, like the one starfish, right, that washes up on the shore, the truth is we can do what we can. There is not necessarily complete resolution. It's not like it all got fixed. It doesn't mean then everybody's this is the kind of we love volunteering, right? When we know we can feed someone on the spot, and we know at least for that moment they have a full belly, and that counts for something. And sometimes we're going to help, and it isn't going to be magical, is it? It isn't going to all work out tomorrow. It isn't going. It doesn't magically mean the issues resolved, and it means it's still just as right, just as important, and just as good. So we're not going to go into a sense of failure around this. We're going to keep doing what we can. And thank you, Adrian, for identifying the issue, and for we're going to keep working on it. We're going to keep working on it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. This is a hard, we talked on Saturday. I think I do want to repeat this, and then we'll go to the summary. We talked on Saturday about this reality that a fact does not undo an untruth. That a lie that's propagated, for example, or an untruth or a partial truth, is never corrected by another statement, another number, another. The debate is endless. I know this for sure. It never ends. It's just ongoing, and then more. The only thing, and we know this now more clearly in the science, the only thing that changes people's minds are people's hearts. That's it. Not anything that you said, not anything. The fact is this, the data is that, the correct number is this. Not forget it. Don't waste it. It is not what transforms. It is merely the commitment of someone like Adrian, who then inspires us to try to do something. That's it. And often we live in such small circles, don't we? The reality is we live in such small circles that, like my mom, just as an example, my mother does not have a relationship with anyone other than a white person. And so when I use the example of the Black homeless woman walked up to us as we were going to breakfast, my mother could do nothing given her conditioning and her understanding, but withdraw, right? Because that person looked other or different for her. And neither do I want to condemn or blame her, but then we have to understand that it is only in our interconnectedness, isn't it? In our interbeing that we will ever be free as a world, as a people. And that this is an opportunity for all of us to know something about someone and their real situation instead of a number. Because we all deaden, says the research, to the numbers. Well, you know, 70,000, 700,000, you know, oh well, some big number with zeros. And so thank you. Again, we'll keep you posted on that in an ongoing way. And then it ties us directly into where do we become courageous? Where do we, in Chogyam's book, as we're going to look now, where do we take the stand? Where do we draw the line? Where do we give the money? Where do we let it go? And they're all necessary, at least for a moment or a time. And there is no hard formula in the Buddhist teachings beyond. Recognize that there is suffering is the first. Recognize that there is suffering. That's number one. And then recognize that there is the cause to that suffering and see if you can't see clearly what it is. And then begin to change those conditions. Because once you see what they are, you can undo them or change them or transform them. And then once that is done, you do so with honesty, integrity, care, and one's wholeheartedness, and that this is the path, and it is the one we are going to commit to staying on. So thank you all so much for that. Let's go. I'm going to see if I can't find now the summary. I think I've got it right here. Let's see if it shows up. And then I'm going to look to somebody to tell me if you can see that. Looks like that. Okay, the application. And I loved where we ended because we ended at first Lung Ta or Wind Horse, a number 16, discovering Wind Horse. It is this energetic, like impulsion to act, to be, to show up. It rather than contract back or go shut down, it really invokes, doesn't it, our participation. Like, it doesn't mean you're doing anything either. You might just be present to it. So Lung Ta, don't mistake it. When we say wholesome energy for Lung Ta, we don't mean that's you digging a ditch necessarily. It might mean your presence in an otherwise difficult, contemptuous, challenging, aggressive, painful situation. And your very presence there, not being aggressive, is the good medicine. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. And isn't it good enough that there is a momentum even there in the one who is not aggressive, in the one who did take the stand, in the one who did, as Adrian did, inquire, right? And go, I need the info, and we're going to figure this out and take as skillful an action as we can. So don't mistake it. It is not impulsive. It is not impulsive. It is propulsive. It is an energy for potential action, but it is not from anything less than wisdom, which is why the very pause, the very beginning in stillness and silence becomes essential to its skill, right? I'm not just jumping in unless I have the training for that, like the surgeon who's right going to act to make someone breathe, which I couldn't do, so I wouldn't be taking that action. But so just the propulsion, very different than impulsion, which comes from a chaos and a lack of clarity and a habit-natured mind, just so we understand that, because sometimes we get those mixed up because they're both filled with energy, but one is skillful, one is wholly unskillful. And so 17, then, the spark of confidence. It says distinguishes genuine confidence from a kind of egoic hoopla. I don't know what to call that. It says mimicry here. This comes from that inherent goodness. It doesn't require glitter, lights, symbols at all. It stands itself. There is nothing else required. And you know it when you see that in someone, right? Their own calm, clear presence is there. And there is a felt sense, not of separation or not of that person has something I don't have, but really the opposite, which is I'm capable of this also. Very different than, wow, they've got it going on, is, oh, we all are this. This is pretty amazing. Thich Nhat Hanh was maybe the best that I have ever experienced at this as we were walking slowly at Deer Park Monastery. you knew every step that guy took, there was some kind of ripple back to the back of those thousands of people, by the way, that we were all walking together, that there was no distinction or separation in us at all. And he led that. He knew that best. And so it was so beautiful in such a simple task. By tuning into Lungta, I don't know if you can do that. That's interesting. A sudden healthy flash. This is that flash of bodhicitta, the awakened heart. The warrior unites the everyday, that's what the secular means, with the sacred to inspire others authentically. That's what I just said, isn't it? It inspires by its just simple goodness, like Janine's offer, right? There's nothing, I got to be this, you get to be the beneficiary of it at all in it. And you can feel it, you know it. And so is truly known, felt as a gift, right? And then you are inspired to gift and be the gift and offer the gift and receive the gift as well. And it's this continuous circle of energy and goodness, not just yours, just so we get clear about this. It's not something you are self-generating. It comes from that ocean that we just rested in, that is continuously moving, has a continuous momentum. So don't mistake it as the me-ing. It doesn't come from there. You will run out. I can tell you solidly, certainly from there. You will run out. There's not enough in just you. So don't believe it. And there is enough in us all through you. And that's certain as well. And when we get depleted, exhausted, guess why? We put it on us, didn't we? We went, I've got to. It's got to be me. Yesterday in the conversation with Adrian, what did Adrian and I come to? We went, we're just going to continue. We don't know who, how, what. We just know it will be there out of the goodness of this, right? It doesn't mean magical solution comes either, right? And then we, with acceptance, open to that. Doesn't mean he's not going to lose his job. He's certainly probably, well, he is. It doesn't mean he's going to get that form. We don't know that he is, but there is something, right, in our stability, in our confidence, and with the energy towards it that we can do and we're going to. And you will all, and have already been, a beautiful part of that. And so thank you again. The secular becomes sacred when we discover the genuine warrior. That's the heart mind I was just talking about. Not just you. Not just you. And not you. Can't do that either, because that can get us out of a whole bunch of stuff we're supposed to be in. Can't go, well, not me. I don't have it. I'm not capable. It's just, somebody else. Nope, because that's just as failed, isn't it? To believe it's all me, no benefit. To believe it's not me, just as dangerous, sometimes more so, because we don't step where we were placed in this world to step and to do what we were there to do. And we don't do it out of that very wrong misunderstanding. You're attacked by your own cowardice. Boy, is that ever the truth? That just runs right through me. You can go beyond and find resources. That's right. You don't have to do anything all by yourself. I was on the phone with Erman. I'm calling the guy up. I don't know what he knows. I just know he knows probably more than me about this. If for no other reason than he's from another country. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not his attorney skills. Maybe he just goes, yeah, I get this. This is very difficult. There's no quick solutions, right? And the conversation ended up being very helpful. It wasn't all the answers, and it didn't even need to be. There was a certain calm. There's something to do. We got a resource, right? Look at that. But you have to be willing to not know to get it, don't you? You have to not go, I've got to figure it all out. Well, I don't believe that at all. I'm going to ask 50,000 plus people what they know, because together we know more. And it's really that simple. And can I be a conduit for that connectedness? Yes. For that possibility? Yes. Yes. And does it mean it all works out? Not necessarily. And it doesn't now. We're going to do everything we can know to do. And so our own cowardice keeps us from that. Can everybody hear that? Your cowardice keeps you from it. Not the I'm supposed to do it by myself. That's cowardice, isn't it? That comes from deficiency, doesn't it? That's the only reason you thought that, is because you didn't feel enough already. So then you went, it's gotta be me. Well, yes, and every other thing you can touch, get included, involved, so, right? And then we have greater bravery, right? It isn't about me at all. It isn't about Adrian at all. It isn't about Herman. It isn't even just about Hector, is it? It's about this whole really experience and what we can do to end suffering. Confidence comes from nowhere. This is what he means. No one. No one is what he means. There is no one from whom, and everyone is a drop of that. Isn't it true? A sudden flash with a healthy note or knowing. Does everybody get this idea? Can you feel the difference when now it's not just on me and it's me? It's not just on me and it's me. Do what you can, whatever that is. And some days, guess what? It's reciting your prayer, vow, mantra. That's it. I can't solve the problems in Somalia today, folks, by the way. It doesn't mean I'm not aware of the suffering there. It means I don't have whatever I need other than I can say, I wish for the resolution of this, and then I can give money to Shelter Box. That's what I can do. I'm pretty well tapped out. And it counts, right? It still matters. And we don't want to go into a felt sense of failure, because most of what is meaningful, we're going to read, most of what we understand is it is a continuous practice, right? It is not a one time, give the money, hope for the best. That's why we do Philabelly. Well, we do Philabelly every month, right? For a reason. Well, because the new need, the new person, and we keep looking at it, don't we? We don't know if that's going to keep serving in the way it has. And then we'll make changes. Maybe we're going to be boxing up food and bringing it somewhere where people can pick it up where they're safer. Well, wouldn't that be right? Maybe. We don't know. We're going to stay awake to that. Then 18, the other side of fear. Even advanced warriors experience spontaneous terror. Meeting it reveals deeper sacredness and space, turning claustrophobia into compassionate openness. Instead of turning away or shutting down in the face of that spontaneous terror, I'll say that was my experience with my friend on Sunday. I just went into a kind of lockup. Like, I don't know how to say this casually in a way that she's going to understand. And so I just went into my head, which was not helpful at all. That made it solidly worse, I'm certain. And didn't represent the truth of it. It's not a head thing for me at all. Had I probably just said that, it would have been better. There's no real way to talk about this. It doesn't come from any place that I can really easily speak. And it's very heartful. Very much. She probably would have nodded to that. Like, yeah, of course, I get that. Right? Turning claustrophobia, or the very energy of fear, is what we mean here, into that which opens, expands, and illuminates the heart. Fear often arises after you understand unconditional confidence. He's saying as we become more courageous and more fearless, we recognize our fear more, don't we? Isn't it true? As you become more fearless, you go, wow, even in this moment with a longtime friend, grip, right there, got me. And my willingness to turn towards that, to understand that. And by the way, understand that as something about me, not as something about Denise. Right? Not as something about Denise. It just fed. What she did fed it because she likely got uncomfortable too. Going, this is an odd conversation. Right? And so unconditional confidence, that fearlessness comes from our continuing to turn towards our fear. And yes, it is true. I think we see it more and more and more for quite a while. It isn't just like we fall into fearlessness. I think we see more fear and then recognize the grip more and then recognize the shutdown more and then recognize the turn away more. First. And wow, how courageous is that? We can have a flash of sacredness in whatever arises. Couldn't we, just using that one moment? The sacredness of that moment is that I can see more clearly. How important this is to me, number one, which probably at some level I hadn't even fully felt until she was inquiring into it, how important it was to me, what that really means to me, by the way. And of course, it isn't the tattoo at all. As Adrian so lovingly said, you tattoo your heart first. You tattoo the heart first. And then whatever else shows up, right? Or doesn't. It's not even so important now, right? I'm not suggesting anybody get a tattoo, but don't mishear that. Sacredness provides space. Without it, we feel claustrophobic. He's saying that that sacredness is that touching into the deep truth, to the deep heart. And it has no capacity to be contained. It does it when we finally make contact with it. It just spills forward. It radiates forward and cannot and should not be contained. And its very containment is what I felt uncomfortable in that field. 19, invincibility. That's a big word. Cultivating sacredness moment to moment makes the warrior untouchable yet tender. It means the outcome doesn't collapse them. This works or it doesn't work. It really just another condition in which to work. You are not fatigued by the reality that this is continuous any longer. And you cultivate a certain kind of invincibility or imperturbability or unshakability. These are all the same meaning. You cultivate that out of what? Knowing it's now this moment and then this one. And we're building muscle for it all the time, aren't we? With our very mindfulness. Can I just show up here and then just show up here? And first of all, I'm just showing up. That's its own practice. Can I just be here? That's number one. And then can I be here open-heartedly? Well, that's number two. And then can I be here, show up and be open-hearted and then take action and speak from it? This is a big deal. Look at the path. Look at that path. And in any one of those that you're in, it's perfect. Maybe I'm just in the show up phase. Maybe I'm just in the show up and be open-hearted and not slam it shut. Maybe I'm there thinking there's something I could have said that was probably better than what I just said. All good news, right? We become soft-hearted and unstoppable, right? Seeing the truth of where the suffering and the fear are. They are united, aren't they? Where our fear is, there too is our suffering. And here's the quotes. Invoking wind horse and confident awareness are important disciplines. Making contact with the energy and then learning how to count on it. I can count on this. And I have cultivated that so much more in the past several years. I can just count on it. Humor in sacredness is discovering a quality of delight and a light touch. That was certainly missing in that moment on Sunday and can now be regained. I feel confident about that. The warrior is invincible because she sees their opponents world so clearly, their opponent, because what? The opponent is not other at all. So it isn't that you're looking at, you're coming through. Oh, I get this too. You're curious and don't get it either, in my example. And the curiosity is lovely because that's open. Right? Whatever comes with it next is still lovely. Invincible, because we see things not only from our one limited view, but from all angles, right? Your view, everyone's perspective. And so we are not fatigued and we are not collapsed in it. 20, how to invoke wind horse. Provide a ritual inner method for raising wind horse. This is a part of the repetition. Take your seat, invite the lineage. Did we not do this today? Touch the great eastern sun. We called it the ocean of awareness. They're the same. They're expanded beyond any limited idea of oneself and any limited idea of the other. There is no other. It is just this energy of this oneness. And we ride the energy that cheers up oneself and others. There's an energy in it that is unstoppable, invincible, irrevocable. We are delighted to be who we are and delighted by the situation we are in. This happens more and more. Just know it is a fruit. It is not the path. We get to that where I can step into this and then just step into this without distress, without collapse, without meing, youing, without fatigue. Invoking wind horse actualizes the living aspect of fearlessness. It puts it, it embodies it, makes it live right on the spot. Does it look confident? It might look quiet. So be careful, because Americans have an idea about confidence, I think, which is quite showy, I would say. I don't think that's what he means. You can feel it. You feel the presence and the stay with it and the of the person, but I don't know if it looks confident. I think it looks present. I'm here, and I'm fully here, and I think that's even more that living. That living. I think that's the last chapter. I'm looking to Libby, who's got the papers in her. Any of this inviting more inquiry for you, more curiosity? Do you see or feel where it is really alive in you? I think this is most important, both in our collapse in it, like I did on Sunday, and also in its ability to stay with it, even in the collapse, to go, now, wait a minute, that did not represent what I really feel or who I really am. And I don't mean me, I mean the truth of that vow is so big that I just really didn't know how to talk about it from that place. And I could have easily honored the truth of that by saying it. Like, I'd love to have a conversation with you about this. Right? Just probably not best right now. Which would have been way more honest and consequently way more interesting. And then I want to stay with my example only because I can help you with the concretes of this otherwise opaque language. Using my example, then it doesn't matter what anybody's opinion is, does it? There is no opinion war. There is no I like tattoos or I don't like them. This would be ridiculous, right? It wasn't about that. There would be no, well, I don't like things on me that are from another tradition, right? It wouldn't matter. You could, and by the way, you could have whatever thought about it you had. And of course, that person could then easily, in the spaciousness of it, talk about that. Go, boy, that just doesn't make any sense to me. would be just perfect, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be problematic. I don't believe in them. Jewish tradition doesn't do that, right? This is no problem. There's room now for the whole of it. And now there's no conflict. And so anytime you're in a conflict, it's a real opportunity, isn't it? To go, how did we get here? If there's really space, I do this with my husband a lot. I'm like, wait a minute, I can actually hold your difference. This isn't a problem for me. It doesn't mean he can. And can I hold that? Can I hold that? That actually you may not be capable of this. And then how do you do that with a person who's not going to say, well, your opinion's just your opinion too. I can hold this both. Who is more black and white? You're going to run into lots of folks, aren't we? Maybe most of them, let's say honestly, who are going, no, it is this or that. There is no open space. There's no middle. There's no middle, right? It's either you like them and you get one, or you don't like them and you don't get one. And by the way, I don't like them, so you shouldn't get one. Right? Can I hold that? Really? And the answer is I can. Why? I understand fear. Don't I? I get it. I know what fear is. I know how it feels. I know it's shut down quality. I know it's collapse. I know it's terror. And so can I know it with and for another too? Yes. To say I understand. That's it. See, there's going to be no fixing. You don't have to feel differently. And in fact, you're not going to. But yes, I can understand that this isn't you, this isn't yours. And the idea that I'm doing something different is scary. And that's it. There may not be more to it ever. We may never get close, right? Except we hold the possibility, don't we? We hold the possibility that over time, with experience, remember, because only experience is the teacher, not the numbers, not the data, not the facts at all, right? Waste of time, don't do it. So there is no conversation. It would be ridiculous to go, well, it's not going to cost that much. Who cares? It's not going to be that dark. You'll hardly notice it. I don't care. It's still on you, right? What's the truth? Well, over direct experience, to go, okay, I can bear it, or maybe I can't. And still it doesn't, it's okay, right? Then you step into that moment going, it's all right. You don't have to understand. This is not required. It is only required that I get it. And out of my getting it, that I don't have to shove it down your throat because I so get it. You don't have to choke on this. You can, right, hold exactly the experience you have, and I can hold it with you. Do we get this? Do you understand what we're saying? And can you feel the steadiness in it? See, and then just this. And then we arrive fully. And then just this moment, and we arrive fully. And there's always a way then to hold it. And we cultivate confidence in it. You go, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Even if you never like it, even if you wished I'd never gotten it, it's okay. There really is no problem. And I'll get an opportunity to live that with you all next week. When I have it, and my husband's sneering, it's okay. Can I understand what that is? I'm afraid you're going to be different in some way that's going to potentially separate us or limit us or make us different, right? Some fear. So we get this idea, and you know the difference. Stay still, would you? Until you can feel yourself fully in the moment. Fully in the moment. If you're already thinking about an answer, you are not there. If you've already got a plan that you're going to insert into someone, don't do it. Don't do it. It's harder than that. And it's bigger too. You can't know, can you? I don't know how Denise and I are going to talk this out. I don't know how Al and I are going to find our way together, except I have confidence in its potential. And that's enough, by the way, without any of the answers. Do I believe we can help Hector in some way? I absolutely feel certain we can. And by the way, I don't have a clue today what that might look like, except that I'm going to stay present to it, as is Adrian, as are you. And then we're going to keep walking it together. I think we got the idea. Thank you so much for your showing up for this book. I'm going to read chat and then we're going to do our. Let me just make sure there's nothing here. Thank you. We got some additional. Yeah, well, I am getting some ink on Wednesday. That's when that's happening. It's going to be a lot of hours, I heard. I got a little, I'm just working with that a little bit longer or a lot than I was thinking. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm needing another one. I'm looking for my octopus and Triton and my ohm and everything.
You got a lot. I'd start with one thing. I have something that's called fine line, and that fine line is very hard to find people to do because it's not black and that, and so it's taken me quite a while to do.
Even Tide.
Yes. I have found some places. I'm very
Yeah.
excited.
Good for you.
Thank you very much. Let's say the prayer together. And remember, you're not stuck with this prayer. You could repeat the one you say or the phrase that's right for you. So don't ever feel limited by this. But I do want you to hear the heart of it. Because that's the same heart, whatever it is you're saying. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge, for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles. And for the boundless multitudes of living beings, may I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and the sky, until all beings are freed from sorrow and all are awakened. May we all be happy. May we all be free from suffering. May we all be grateful at the ease we have been granted. And may we offer that ease to others. May we rest and dwell in that vast, open, ocean-like quality of awareness, free from hatred, free from greed, free from ignorance, open, spacious, and vast like the sky. And may our practice today contribute that it be so. May it be alive and embodied this very day. And may it continue until all beings everywhere are free. So be it. Blessings and thank you to you all. Chris, I don't know if you can hear them, but the chimes are out in the back and they are just delightful. Thank you so much for adding that to our Sangha space. It is truly, it softens the heart for those on the patio and in my office who sometimes are in contraction. So thank you so much for that, as well as all of us. We will be together this Saturday in the garden, so please feel free to join us. Thank you so much, Robin. I'll look forward to seeing you all. Greg will be back on this Thursday. So I hope we can all join him for a little shamatha practice. I look forward to seeing you all then. We'll keep you updated on Hector and how things go this week. Thank you all so much. Love to you all.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. We'll keep Felicia in our prayers that she's going to do well. And if she
Yes.
needs anything, and Hector too, definitely.
Thank you.
Are you around? Because I can hop in the car and go bring some little things for little man.
Yes, we are
Oh.
around.
Okay. We
Yes.
will, Bandit and I will pop in the car and head over.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much. Be
Bye,
well.
everybody.